This is the 2021 Relative Velocity question 2b. We have three aircraft, P, Q and R. They're all flying at the same height. P is traveling north at 450 kilometers an hour. Velocity of P is equal to 0 in the I direction plus 450 in the J direction. Q is traveling 400 root 2 in a direction east 45 degrees north. Just do a little map. East 45 degrees north is up in that direction. So it's going to be at 400 root 2 by the cos of 45, and it's going to be positive in this direction. In the I direction plus 400 root 2. Just write the sine of 45 you want. In the I direction, sorry, 1 over root 2. Don't rush into the answer. Write out the steps. Sine of 45 in the J. So we're going to get 400 root 2 by 1 over root 2, which is just going to be 400 in the I direction plus 400 in the J direction for the velocity of Q. And what else are we told here? Or appears, so we have or relative to P, the velocity of or relative to P. And let's call the velocity of or, which is what we're looking for here. Let's call it, we don't know what x and y are, xi plus y in the j direction. That might help us here. So the velocity of or relative to p is the velocity of or minus the velocity of p. I've read the whole question. We're asked the or relative to q as well. And we'll bring these back in when we have our answers to tell us about our angles. So the velocity of or minus the velocity of p is going to be x in the I direction minus 0, so just x in the I direction. And then it's going to be plus in the y direction y minus 450 in the j direction. So that's the velocity of or relative to p. So we have an angle in relation to this too. Or appears to be flying to be east 10 degrees south. Just let's have a look at that. East 10 degrees south will be in this direction. 10. This is in positive, negative direction. So the east 10 degrees south, the tan of 10 will be equal to y over x. It's minus y. In this case, minus y plus 450 if we apply the minus part over x is positive. So just leave it like that for a second, and then let's look at what's happening with Q. Velocity of or relative to Q. We have in the same direction, positive, negative, this east 15.67 south. And we know this is the velocity of or minus the velocity of Q. So we have or is going to be x in the I direction minus 400. Then in the j direction, we're going to have y, again, minus 400 in the j direction. This is the velocity of or relative to q. So this is again in a positive, negative direction, so that we can say the tan of the angle, 15.67, is going to be equal to minus y over x minus y plus 400 over x minus 400. So we have two equations in x and y. Let's just solve these. Tan of 10 is equal to 0.1763. Yeah, I think I've done the solution rounded off a bit too early. I might leave it just as the tan of 10 and we'll simplify it down a little bit from there. So x tan 10 is equal to minus y plus 450. We should be able to cancel the y's. So over this side we're going to cross multiply. I'm going to get x tan 15.67 minus 400 tan 15.67. It's going to be equal to minus y plus 400. So if we make all of these positive and put them over here, we're going to get, or change all the signs to get a positive y. We're going to get minus x tan 15.67 plus 400 tan 15.67. So just change the signs, plus 400 tan 15.67. That's going to be equal to plus y minus 400. And combining these two lines, the y's will cancel. On the right hand side, we're going to get 450 minus 400, which is 50. And on the left, we're going to get x tan 10. Just going to shift this over a bit. X tan 10 minus x tan 15.67 plus 400 tan 15.67 equals 50. So let's tidy this up. I'll go to 5 decimal places. 0.17636. So we take 3x minus 0.28052. I'll just go with the 281 plus will be 112. So we're going to bring it across and we're going to get equals 50 minus the 112.21. So simplifying this, we're going to get 0.10467x is equal to 62.21. So x is equal to 594.34. I think it's still slightly off, but this is what I'm getting. I got 594.17 the last time. So y, we have an equation for y up here. Probably the easiest one is this one. Y is equal to 450, and that will be minus x tan 10 minus 594.34 by the tan of 10. So y is equal to 345.2. Now the velocity of ore to be 594.34 in the I direction plus 345.2 in the J direction. The magnitude of this is equal to the square root of the two of them squared. You have time to write it down. Just make sure you write it down. So this is giving a magnitude of 687.32 kilometers an hour dealing with aircraft. And then the angle, the inverse tan of 345.2 over 594.34 will give you the direction. And it's going to be east at the angle north because they're both positive. And this is rounding off for me to be 30 degrees. And that concludes this question.